Alright, we're here. Yep, with Niles and Junior as well. They'll be happy to join us. Yeah, because we'll have to find out what your argument was. Yeah, we'll tell you after Scorpio's done with his you know what. You guys carry on the conversation. I need to do some adjustments. Alright. So guys, what were you talking about? Yeah, we missed a lot. Well, to summer it, we started talking about why Scorpio hates or dislikes the characters. Like with Ajuga Beelzebub, Akano, Azazel, the Devils, Ozia. No, wait. I never heard of Scorpio disliking Ozia. Really? Yeah. Anyways, the Fallen Angels, Rainier, Zeoticus Gremory, Riser, and there is one character that he does like, and that is Sona and her peerage. Really? What, you didn't know? No. Actually, it's the first time I'm hearing this. Me too. We've never even know. Well, now you do now, because Scorpio explained to us why he likes Sona and her peerage. And that's because... Well, it's because what Scorpio said about the whole peerage system. If Sona asks you to join her peerage, but knowing that you will give up your humanity and serve her, but you will say no, and Sona will respect your decision that she doesn't want to force you to become a devil. Okay, well, that's understandable. And also, I didn't even know this until now. It appears that Sona's peerage has sacred gears, except for, well, Tsubaki and Saji. Those are the only two that have sacred gears. But the others, like Rhea, Tsubasa, Megiri, Ruko, and Momo, they don't have sacred gears. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Now that you mention it, when the anime it does says that the devils only reincarnate humans or other race with sacred gears. But looking back, I highly doubt that. I mean, why would devils reincarnate someone that doesn't possess sacred gears? Unless they come from a magician, wizard, sorcerers. I mean, heck, even who are born with magic. Well, I guess that does count. Well, except there are some characters that are priests or exorcists. Yeah, that didn't even make any logical sense. I mean, are we wrong that devils reincarnate beings that don't have secret gears? I thought that was true. Well, why don't you ask the creators from that anime? I highly doubt they will respond to that question. I mean, even if we do ask them, we won't get a response. I mean, how are we ever gonna find them? What about Twitter or Instagram? I highly doubt that. Well, why don't we give it a try? It just ask them the question. Alright, but I'm telling you, it's not going to work. Yeah, anyways, that's basically pretty much it about those certain dislike characters and the one character that he likes, that is Sona. Yeah, I can understand that, but what about Rias? Yeah, that one, we don't know. So, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Alright, finished. Now, everyone, the character I dislike the most is not Rias. This is the second one. The character that I hate the most, and that is the main protagonist. Now, you better take notes. So, yeah. Seriously? What do you think this is? Yandere High School? Roleplay crap? Moy, did you make a reference? Yes, I did make a reference. Ugh, why does this remind me of high school? Ugh, man. Issei Hyodo. Okay, well, that I can understand because his perverted nature. Yeah, I can definitely see that, but. Okay. Well, that's understandable, but there are some people that like Issei. Yeah. Ugh, you imbecile. Those are. Ugh. I can't even. I'm not even gonna speak of it. Okay, I can understand that. But why? Now, here's his backstory. Now, before Issei was born, his mother became pregnant twice, but the pregnancy ended up in a miscarriages. So when Issei's mother got pregnant for the third time, his father had paced back and forth in front of the Shinto shrine, honestly, wishing that this time they would succeed. When the newborn was finally born, he was named Issei. In his childhood, he met a childhood friend, Irina Shido, and they would always play together back when she was still living in the neighborhood. Although he thought she was a boy at the time, as he vaguely remembers her. Well, stereotypical tomboy anime trope. I mean, when your childhood friend you thought was a boy that you used to play with, but it turns out, a few years later, you realize that the boy you played with was a girl the whole time. Yep, classic anime trope. Why is it always like that? It's for plot and story. I mean, come on. It's supposed to be the plot and story behind it. When the protagonist finds out that their childhood friend that you thought you played with was a boy, but it turns out it was a girl the whole time. Isn't that old fashioned? I mean, back in those days in the 2000s, they used to do that in animes, in manga, and a light novel. But now, here today in 2024, it it stopped. My question is, why did they stop? Yeah, I always wonder about that. I miss the good old days when anime always has the trope and characters I miss those days. Oh, sorry, Scorpio. Continue. Anyways, as I was saying, a few times Issei was invited to the church to go to church with her family. On occasions, they would stay over at each other's houses. One of these visits, when Issei slept over at Irina's, she kissed him while he was sleeping. Eventually, Irina moved to England due to her father's job. Yeah, we heard about that. I mean, what really surprised me that Issei was with Irina, and it appears that Issei didn't know that Irina's father was an exorcist or priest. Well, you know what they say in that DXD universe? No one cannot know about the existence of supernatural beings. I mean, although Issei was unaware of Irina's family, so I guess technically, imagine this. What if Issei find out about the supernatural and Irina's family about the whole exorcist? What would you think will happen? Well, if I had to take a guess, if Issei did find out about Irina's family about exorcists, he would have likely joined them. So, I guess. But, anyways, sometime during his childhood, Issei met an old man who told him and the other children stories about female chest, which eventually led Issei's fascination with them and his perverted tendencies. Okay, that part I didn't know. Well, I kinda did. I read the manga about it. Really, you did? Yes. And apparently, that old man might have told him about that and corrupted him. Okay, that's disturbing. What the hell would the old man would tell a child about female chest? I mean, what the hell? That's creepy, mate. Yeah. If I were to see that old man with a kid who would tell them about, you know, I would freaking beat the crap out of him. I would have reported him to the police and he will be arrested. I mean, what the heck? Yeah, I kind of agree. But I have a question. Who is the old man that Issei met? Well, that one I don't know because in the anime or manga or the light novel, it's never stated whose identity of that old man is. So we don't know who it is. Man, this mystery keeps getting more complicated. I mean, think about it, guys. The old man that met Issei, who could it be? Well, it's not the devil or the fallen angel, so those rule out possibilities. What about exorcists? Or the stray or rogue exorcists? I highly doubt that. Well, I guess it's a mystery that we'll never know. Exactly. So whoever that old man is that made Issei is still a mystery and unknown who it is. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. He attended the same middle school with the two perverted boys, Matsuda and Motohama, and the three of them started attending Kuo Academy 1 year before the story, and have come to known to be as the perverted trio to just about the entire school. Yep, that's where it all started. But wait a second. What was his what was his first year as a freshman in high school? Well, that we don't know about because there's never been an episode about it. So anyways, the reason I dislike him is because of his perverted nature and his everything. That does make sense on why you dislike him. Yeah, I get it. But there's more about it. Even by his own adamant, I can't even pronounce the word. Issei is an unintelligent and straightforward individual, having extreme trouble grasping even simple concepts when they explained step by step and repeatedly to him, with his tremendous perverted and lustrous nature being the greatest character of his personality. Issei easily indulges in lewd fantasies, being obsessed with human female chests. Why can't you say, don't you dare say the B word. Don't you dare say it. I wasn't even gonna say the bad word. That's not the bad word. You know what I'm talking about. So don't say it. Okay, I won't. Jeez. Anyways, moving on. In a desire for a harem traits, he openly admits and makes no efforts to hide it. A characteristic that he is in fact proud of it. This causes him to be instantly labeled as a pervert among the girls of Kuo Academy, and has gained him notoriety for being one of the members of the Girls Academy's preferred trio. Despite his outward personality and being unpleasant to other characters, Issei is actually courageous, selfless, and unwavering, determined to protect those who are important to him, despite almost dying by the hands of his opponent. Quite regularly, this bravery can be amplified by having the situation connected to his lustful interests, blowing away any trace of fear. Well, there are some positives about Issei. Yes, that is, despite his perverted personality and behavior, he is brave, courageous, and determined to protect those he loved. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Me too. Same. Alright, if I remember correctly from the anime, it is stated that Konako said, although that he was the weakest Red Dragon Emperor, Issei is the kindest among them, as unlike his predecessors, Issei is not power hungry. This can be seen when he was the only one who did not scrub to the boosted gears curse, not having been consumed by the hatred. the thirst for power and destruction that consumed all those who came before him. Due to his great kindness, Issei is also very caring, putting his nose into other people's businesses, as he helped Kiba, Konako, and Akano to overcome their fears and hatred of their difficult pasts. Due to this, he gained strong friendships with his comrades and affection from most girls of the Occult Research Club. Yes, that is correct. Well, despite his perverted nature, he is kind and caring, and he would help them. But Issei only did help Akano, Konako, and Kiba's past and for their difficult traumas. But except one person who did not. I'll talk about that one later. And there is another thing that Issei also display strong moral principles. As seen, he initially refused to kill his enemies. You know, you're kind of right. Issei never kills his enemies. Yeah, we've seen the episode of Seasons. He never does that. Yeah, despite him being a reincarnated devil, he does still have human behavior and morals. Well, even though he's a reincarnated devil, he still has them. But he did kill Shaba Beelzebub. Yeah, that was Issei's first kill of a high-class devil. Well, the old scene faction, that is. That is correct. Issei still rarely ever kills his enemies, and prefers to either let the others do so or simply let them face arrest. While Issei can carry grudges, he is not above forgiving his enemies and becoming friends with them. Due to his kindness, as seen with Riser, yeah, that is true that he doesn't kill them and he doesn't hold a grudge, and instead of holding a grudge against his enemies, he even makes friends with them, like with Riser Phoenix. Yeah, I've seen that. Now, if I remember, Issei also has a habit mentioned by his mother of not forgiving himself if he does something wrong, always saying sorry on instinct if said the thing is mentioned and showing the expression of pain and regret. He is also fiercely loyal to his comrades, and he also always willing to stand up for them. That is correct. Now, here's this one. After his murder by Rainier, Issei had developed a fear of admitting his feelings to girls in his life, as he thought it would cause them to reject him. This would also cause him to become oblivious to the feelings of girls around him, often believing they are simply teasing him or even leading him on, as Rainier did. You know, that makes sense on why Issei was so dense and always avoided and acted oblivious and ignorant about the girl's feelings. Yeah, mate. But I have a question. Does Issei have gynophobia? aka a fear of women. Well, it does not display, or he doesn't show signs of any gynophobia. Well, typically, if a person has gynophobia, a fear of women, they would act very scared and terrified. They normally avoid women. Like, if a female approaches a male with a gynophobia, they would typically walk away, freak out. I mean, heck, even trying to find a way to escape. Yeah, I mean, there was this website that you look up characters, like their personality, hair color, eye color, and even their names, even their fears. When I looked up on gynophobia of a character, Issei was not on the list. So if Issei doesn't have a gynophobia, then what is it? Well, that's a mystery that we don't know, so moving on. He acknowledged that this would never happen, but it was still an instant fear, even when the girls of the occult research club, such as Akano or Xenovia, professing him into make to mating with them. Issei would initially hold himself back, as he would sometimes look at them with a frigid gaze, a fact that which Akano, Asuya, and Konoko later noticed. You know, ever since that, I did see some signs of Issei freaking out. Really? I mean, like, you can tell from an eye gaze and body language. Like, when you look at Issei's frigid and fear and the body language, his body tends to froze up and his eyes turn to a frightened look. I mean, you could tell, because I could clearly see that. It's like he was scared, or he has experienced something. PTSD? Yeah. I mean, if Issei did have fear of being rejected and being killed like with Rainier, didn't the girls even notice his fear? Now that you mention it, the whole time that Issei was scared, why didn't the girls even notice it? Why didn't they notice it until now? Like, I don't know. If I remember the timeline, how long did Konako, Asuya, and Akino to figure out of Issei's fear? How long did they take them to realize it? If I take a guess, I may be wrong. Maybe it took them like 4 years to realize Issei's fear, or maybe 5 years, or 6 years. I can't even correctly the timeline. Well, it's not known when or where those three figured it out. Either from High School DxD, Born, or Hero. It's not known when they figured it out, so we don't know. His fears were finally brought into attention when Akano, Ozzy, and Konoko confronted him alone and helped him by getting him to admit his feelings and assuring him that they would also love him, and so with Rias. This inspired him to finally confess his love for her, which she reciprocated. I mean, When I think about it, that Issei was dense and doesn't realize it. I can understand why Issei has a fear to avoid any confession. I mean, like you said before, he does have PTSD. When a female confesses love for him to go out with them, Issei would initially frigid and be frightened, and he would just walk away because he don't want to experience that trauma and pain and betrayal like what Rainier did to him. That kind of makes sense. I mean, if I was Issei, I would avoid women because I would not be rejected again and be betrayed again. I would just avoid them like the plague. Yeah, I would too, but I would just transfer to another school and be away from them. Yes, and here's one thing: Issei's a pervert, but another sign of his kind nature is despite wanting to lose his card, Issei refuses to take advantage of women when they were upset. Even they themselves are willing to do it. Willing to. This happened when Akano approached him and wanted to mate to forget her sad past and her father. However, Issei refused, knowing it will just hurt her more, and put her clothes back on and hug her to comfort her. You know, now that I think about it, he never does that to he never does that when they were in his bed and Issei didn't do anything. I mean, he is a pervert, but that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, they were. I mean, Reyes and Asia were at Issei's bed, and Issei didn't do anything. Yeah, he is a pervert and all, but he doesn't make a move. That's because he still has the traumatic experience with Rainier. I mean, yeah, you're right. Yeah, even when Signovia tries to have his way with him, he just frees up and be scared. He didn't do anything. Well, because of Issei's symptoms of PTSD and trust issues, thanks to Rainier, because of this, he was unable to accept the feelings or try to advance anything because of his fear and trust issues. Yet, despite that, I dislike Issei. That's why. I mean, if that old man didn't tell the younger Issei about female chest, if that never happened, Issei would have been a normal kid with a normal life. Well, eventually he would be hunted down by a fallen angel because of his secret gear that he still doesn't know about. He would most likely die. Yeah, that is true. I mean, like you said, if Issei had never met that old man, and he would eventually be hunted by the fallen angel and be killed, would he still be reincarnated as a devil? Well, technically, yes. But if the not perverted Issei find out he's been turned to a devil, what do you think he would do? Hmm. Well, hmm. if he does find out if he was turned to a devil, Issei would most likely be angry and upset about being turned to a devil against his will and be forced to serve Rias or even Sona. He would likely hold a grudge against them and be a little rebellious. Well, to that question, I don't know. Alright, I've told you about why I dislike Issei. Now, for the next one, the final character that I dislike the most is. And there's the bell again. Yep, definitely reminds me of Yandere, high school roleplay. Well, guess we'll have to save that for another time. Take a break. Well, what do you think that squirrel hates the most? Well, if I had to take a guess, well, it could be either Kiba or Sinovia or Rias. So, I don't know. Whoever it is, we'll have to find out. Yeah, I guess. So, since we're here, why don't we do a mystery? An unsolved mystery? Alright. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll join. And that's it for G&F Unsolved Mysteries. Like and subscribe, and see you later, guys.